From an online schools until an employee with a work-from-home systems, the 2020s is the time when society jumped into technology intensively in order to keep in touch. See, the pandemic of COVID-19 situations forced us to keep using social media such as TikTok, Instagrams, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and etc. And it also became the peak moment of social media to reach its highest level of engagement, which continues until today's society. So, dear honorable judges, dear my lovely audience, I have a questions for all of you. Do you constantly use social media and scroll all the time right now? And if the answer is yes, then probably it makes sense because social media always serves content we love by introduce us to new people with the same mindset and opinion, and also avoids us from showing content that we hate and disagree with. So simply, that is what algorithms means and what algorithms did to us in the social media. Algorithm is undeniably a breakthrough for us to keep getting understood by a technology. They studies our behavior right now, like things that we often to see, click, like, comment, and subscribes. And by that, they produce and distribute more and more content that we interest the most. It is also an undeniable fact that technology of algorithms is becoming a part of our life, that it also affecting our in real life interactions with another people. But what if I told you the algorithm is like your toxic boyfriend that looks sweet at first but slowly isolates you from people outside who don't understand you? And that is the moment when you reach the state of addictions. When the constant social media exposures strictly drive ourselves to close our mind from the outside informations. When we start accepting only an opinion that we love, not things that are simply meant to be true. That is the state of echo chambers, ladies and gentlemen, when algorithms made people across social media became polarized and biased with things they often to see. The negative impact of the feeling of state of echo chambers is the feeling of alienations. When a social comparison is becoming a thing, when people in social media start comparing themselves with unrealistic standards created based on people online. For example, the phenomenon of FOMO, which stands for fear of missing out, the feeling of anxiety and scared of being left behind by an up-to-date standard created based on people online. You can take a look at social media right now, and there is an online campaign marketing that based on the perfect life shown by influencers, which leads into an act of consumerism. A study from University of Pennsylvania found that higher social media use is associated with the increase of FOMO, which leads into people who keep buying more and more products in order to keep in touch with the standards. So right now, we are so vulnerable, guys. We don't know the life of influencers. We never know behind the camera. And yet, we portray the perfections inside their life. They describe how real life needs to be. That's why no matter how old we are as an adult, as a teenager, we are so vulnerable with the raw information spreading online. And how about the children across the internet? So that's why a step from the authorities is needed, especially an age restrictions for children that are more vulnerable with raw informations online. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, from the matter of fact that social media control ourselves and it against the nature of technology. Because we created technology, we're not meant to be controlled by, but we are trapped inside the sweet mouth of algorithms. Therefore, let's go out from the cycle of addictions by applying these two rules called 2R, which I applied to in my life and can help you also in your life. So the first R stands for realizations, that you need to be aware from the danger of social media. For example, like using social media with a real purpose, like study, like seek knowledge to communicate with each other, or even to seek entertainment, but in moderation. with a simple awareness, just be aware from the danger. Congratulations, you are halfway there from escaping the danger of algorithms. So the final step that you need to complete is the second R, which stands for real actions. For example, like periodically reducing your screen time periodically, not strictly, like slowly limiting until you reach full control of social media itself. So dear ladies and gentlemen, same as like my teenager era, a lot of people in my age are in trap of the teenage era, like you are so really depends on technology. But now I prove myself that I can escape from the trap of algorithms with a simple step of 2R that stands with realizations and real actions that you can also apply to in your life to escape from the trap of algorithms. So my conclusion is we should not condemn social media because it's negative impact, but we should use social media to take an advantage if we can use it with a purpose. But if you can't use it without a purpose, then start from right now. And if you can afterly find a way, congratulations, because a healthy relationships means a good social media use. Because a good social media use means like a healthy relationships that is not meant to be look sweet all the time, but it's meant to be realistic through the honesty. So before I end my speech, guys, I have a word for you to let's go out from the stress and start touching some grass. My name is Arsanta Agusta. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.